Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everyone. And it is really my pleasure to say good morning. We are live on this Monday. I don't even know. What is it, February? Brad, check the calendar. Is it February or March? What is it? It's July. They tell me it's July. Good morning and welcome to The Jason Show. I'm Jace, and for the first time in 4 months, I actually have deodorant on. And I've brushed my hair. And I'm in pants that aren't elastic. That's great. Welcome to the show. We are back live. This is not a rerun, and this is not coming to you from my closet. This is actually the Fox Studios, and joining me from her closet, please give it up for, or no, actually, it's her dining room. It's our good friend, Kendall. Good morning, Kendall.
My dining room, Jason, this is my guest bedroom, to be very clear.
Is it, that's your guest, no, that's your dining room. Good to see you, sweetheart.
I like that you're arguing with me about what room I'm in.
I don't know.
It's good to see you too. I can't believe you're back in the studio.
It is real. I got to tell you, Kendall, it is. I walked in here. You guys can see I did a little video for Instagram. Just search for Jason Show TV or just Jason Matheson. I walked in here and I got to tell you, Engineer Brad was right where we left him in March. He was sleeping on the chair over here, so that was a relief. Director Leo was taking a nap under the audience chair. So everybody is right where we left him, Kendall. Oh, Kendall froze. Are you kidding me? What time is it? Can we mark this down? We're 2 minutes into the live show. 2 minutes, and we're already having a technical difficulty. I love this. Oh, it's good to be back, isn't it? Oh, because now we don't even have an audience to go to. So what we're going to do, though, is she's good? Kendall's back, everyone, unfrozen in time. Are you good? Can you hear me? Houston? No! What is she doing? We had her, and she turned it off. Did you see her? She was like this. No, I don't want to do this today. I'm just going to turn it off. Brad, she turned off the camera. Does she not know she thinks this is pretend, doesn't she? She doesn't think we're back. She thought this was all just oh no, we're just practicing for when the pandemic's over. No, Ted's trying to get a hold of her right now. Oh, where's Aaron Schwab? Oh, Aaron, wait, hold on a minute. I'm hearing we have Kendall. Kendall's back. Good morning.
Sorry.
Okay, Kendall.
Morning. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden you were gone.
Kendall, look right in the camera. Repeat after me. This is not a rehearsal. This is not a rehearsal.
This is not a rehearsal.
We're back.
It's not a drill.
We're back. All we saw, Kendall, from our point of view, this is literally, hold on a minute. This is what we saw. We saw you, and then you went up to the camera like this. Oh, no, I don't want to do this anymore. No. And you turned off your own camera. What are you doing?
Well, I couldn't. Well, so, okay, as everyone knows, when you work from home, you have issues, and this happens sometimes on this program that we use where all of a sudden I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
I can't do anything. It just cuts out, and
It's all right.
only way I can fix it is just to restart.
Well,
so,
we're
sorry.
glad you restarted. We're restarting. We're glad that you're all here. So grab a cup of coffee. Kendall won't touch anything more, and let's get started. It is time for the hot dish. Here we go, everybody. Thank you, Brad. Let's get started. Hey, we're going to warn you. There's some sad news that we're going to talk about. We'll switch gears in a little bit, but my goodness, we woke up to this. Sad news in the movie world. Actress Kelly Preston has died after a 2-year bout with breast cancer. Look at this.
Jerry, there is a sensitivity thing that some people have. I don't have it. I don't cry at movies. I don't gush over babies. I don't start celebrating Christmas 5 months early, and I don't tell a man who just screwed up both our lives, oh, poor baby. That's me, for better or worse.
She was so good. She was an actress, you guys know. She starred in movies right there. Jerry Maguire from '96, Mischief, Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. And personally, if you're a kid of the 80s, this is executive producer Jeff and I favorite movie, Space Camp. I'm actually going to watch that. They're doing a reboot of that. But anyway, she was married to John Travolta for what, Jeff? 29, I think almost 30 years, and 3 children. And sadly, and I can't believe I'm reading this, she was just 57 years old. And Kendall, I was watching Gayle King over there. I was watching the Fox 9 Morning News. I switched over to Gayle. Gayle knew her because of Oprah. Oprah is good friends with the Travoltas. And Gayle said, nobody knew. I mean, we follow celebrity news for a living. Did you hear anything? I mean, did you hear any stories about Kelly?
No, I hadn't. And when this came up, I said the same thing. It was on my Twitter feed this morning, and I was like, I had no idea she even had cancer. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it sounds like they tried to keep it pretty private, from what I understand. Is that what you've understood too?
Yeah, they're trying to keep it private, and I don't know. And this doesn't come from a place of judgment. It comes from a place of ignorance. I got to say the soft part out loud. People are wondering, is the privacy aspect of it a result of Scientology? They are well-known Scientologists. Maybe that plays into it. Maybe it was just a personal family decision. They're not overly, look, that couple, which by the way, they're one of those couples like Tom and Rita, the Newmans back in the day, that you always they were a stable couple in Hollywood. Anyway, they were never real glamour glitz going on red carpets anyway. You really never heard a lot about the inside details of their marriage. So this does kind of fit the pattern, but still just shocking news. 57, just very. And we were just talking too, she should have been bigger. And what I mean by that is, yeah, she was in Jerry Maguire, but she kind of disappeared a little bit and took on smaller roles. Nothing wrong with that. But she was so good. She was fantastic. She should have been a bigger star, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked her in that movie, What a Girl Wants. I remember her a lot as the mom in a lot of movies that I loved. So, kind of what you're saying. She sort of went into these other types of roles, but it's really sad.
Next in the dish, rumors have been swirling around the relationship between Will Smith and wife Jada Pinkett Smith in recent weeks. She's been accused of having an affair with singer August Alsina. Is it Alsina? Yeah. She and Will addressed it on Red Table Talk. That's their Facebook watch show. Look at this.
Because this is your red table and you brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely. I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. Mm-hmm. I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that wasn't possible.
Entanglement? When did that word come up? Is that what the kids are calling it nowadays? Then that means in 08, I had an entanglement with someone who told me he was British. Thank you. One of the things she wanted to clear up was the allegation that Will gave her permission to have a relationship outside the marriage, and not the case. The couple, they've been together since '97. They have 2 children together. There's 2 ways to look at this, Kendall. The first way is, you kind of feel like you're listening to a marriage therapy session that you have no business attending, or you can say they're very smart and very savvy because the internet was taking control of the story and they took control back and told their truth. How do you look at it?
Well, it's what you always say. It's like, hey, there are some benefits to having a talk show. She has this forum, and when people are saying all these things about her, you're the host, you're the producer, it's your show, and your husband's sitting down. You get to get your message across. And I agree, it was not awkward because they didn't seem like they felt awkward. But I mean, I don't think I would want to do it.
No.
However, I would just get real awkward. I get so uncomfortable, Jason, if you wanted to
I was awkward just watching
like this,
the
I'd
clip.
be like,
I was awkward watching the clip, yeah. So let's move on from our awkwardness. And by the way, I haven't done this for so long. What time do we go to a commercial now? What time is it? 12 after. Okay, we got two. I don't know. It's been 4 months. Yeah, it's 4 months. Anyway, next in the dish, Bachelor Nation was dealt a blow during the pandemic. It's very tough for all of us, or just Ted, when Colton and Cassie split. And now, what seemed like an amicable, is turning very ugly. Cassie talked publicly about their split last night with Chris Harrison on the Bachelor Greatest Seasons Ever episode. And apparently, her talking didn't sit well with Colton. So since that interview aired, Cassie says Colton has decided to monetize their breakup in his book and won't give her any say over it, even though her family cared for him while he was struggling with COVID-19 earlier in the year. Colton is not commenting on her comment, okay? Come on. For anybody in that universe to be upset and surprised that any of them are monetizing every aspect of the relationship is incredibly naive. You're surprised Colton's writing a book and you're in it? Come on. Faint on that fainting couch somewhere else. Speaking of The Bachelor, shooting for Claire's season of The Bachelorette is apparently already getting started. They're all going to be in bubbles? Filming will take place exclusively at a resort in Southern California, and this means no lavish overseas dates. Instead, production plans to take them all to Sizzler. They're going to create a bachelorette bubble with regular temperature checks and COVID testing. Nothing says love like a Q-tip in your nose. And more guys have been brought in should someone get sick. Okay. They have, so by the way, there's a backup Jason. Just if something happens, we're just going to pull him out here. We found him in Inver Grove Heights at a pastry store. So if something happens, he's going to come out here and take my place. It'll be a better show, I guarantee it. This crap is expected to air this fall. Okay, let's take a break. I'm exhausted already. Let's go back home. Still ahead, producer Ted will join us to recap his latest trip. But next, Lizzo got kicked out of her rental house and decided to go much, much bigger. We're talking with TMZ when we return. And then, Stephanie Hansen joins us to talk about summer salads, plus a road trip she went on that is Nutter Butters. My dear friends, we'll be back live from the studio in just a few minutes. Back after this.
Since you and Leah Michelle are two of Ryan Murphy's muses, what do you make of the recent news about her on-set behavior?
I'm having a weird connection. I can't really hear you.
I think they're all pleading the fifth on this show.
Yeah.
Well, that made me love Sarah Paulson even more. Welcome back to the show. Sarah avoiding any comment whatsoever about Leah Michelle and her alleged on-set behavior on Watch What Happens Live late last week. Both Sarah and Michelle are frequent collaborators with Glee creator and American Horror Story creator Ryan Murphy. Well, you know, on Mondays, we're still doing this. On Mondays, we get a special serving of hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Joining us via Skype, ladies and gentlemen, from his house, it's Brad Appleton from TMZ. Hi, Brad.
Hey, good morning. How are you up there?
Doing well. So first up, I said this at the top of the broadcast, we have some sad stuff to talk about. This is one of them. An update on the search for Naya Rivera from Glee. What do we know, Brad?
Well, authorities, they're back at it this morning. They have not yet recovered what we're expecting to be Naya's body at this point. But we did learn a little bit more yesterday as far as what they are doing during this search. Not only are they using divers, they're using robots, they're using cadaver dogs to check the water, but there was a big online push to check properties around the lake too. There's some cabins there because fans just want to make sure that there's all possibilities are taken care of. So what we're told, the sheriff's department did search cabins just to see if there was any evidence there or anything else that may have turned up. That search did not recover anything or any type of evidence. So we also got some photos over the weekend of Naya's family, as well as the man who she has a child with at the lake. Some very emotional photos, and we're just hoping for this rescue to yield some results here this week.
Brad, and isn't it true, and you guys have been following this extensively, that lake has a history of trouble, per se. I mean, there's been multiple accidents. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're absolutely correct. If hers does turn out to be a drowning the way that it looks, and investigators believe, that'll be the 9th since 1994. And according to some angry locals, there's not a whole lot of signage to tell people of the dangers. I guess it's very deep waters. There's some strong currents there. And it's also a reservoir. So there's a bunch of trees and other debris at the bottom that people could get stuck on.
Lisa Marie's son, another just tragic story, Benjamin, has died. This broke yesterday. What do we know now, Brad?
Right. So just 27 years old. And what we're being told, it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We don't know a whole lot about Benjamin. For being part of such a famous family, he kind of stayed out of the spotlight. He did have a music contract. He did a few film roles, too. But obviously, we got a statement from Lisa Marie's rep yesterday who said she's devastated, she's inconsolable, and she has 11-year-old twins and another child who she needs to be strong for right now too. So just a really impossible situation for that family right now. It's very, very upsetting.
I can't even imagine. There just aren't enough adjectives to describe what Lisa Marie and her grandma Priscilla are going through. Finally, let's switch gears. We'll end on something happy and just kind of goofy. Lizzo got booted from a rental house. We heard about that. And got a much bigger and nicer one. What did she do?
I mean, maybe she's not so upset she got booted from the original. I mean, she posted that, hey, I got kicked out. The owner was upset with me and some of my friends. But we found out where she stayed, and this place is amazing. It has awesome views of Palm Springs and the surrounding area. It has a great pool, gigantic family room. Not too bad for a second vacation house, that's for sure.
Yeah, no one would complain, Brad, especially in quarantine. I wouldn't mind. Right. Look at that space. Oh, yeah, my goodness. You
do a quarantine there. I think you're doing something right. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would stay there through 2022 if I could. Brad, good to see you, my friend. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. Brad Appleton from TMZ. You know, I wanted to talk briefly. Not only did I think of Lisa Marie, but if you guys watch the show, you know that I love Priscilla. We had Priscilla on our show. Executive producer Jeff and I got to spend an entire day with her, not just an interview, but I found her. She's one of my favorite interviews. I just found her very delicate. That's probably a good word for her, very delicate and very, I don't know, I just wanted to take care of her. And I thought about her because I remember her, and Jeff just brought it back up. I remember her speaking of her grandchild and how proud she was of all of them, but specifically Benjamin. So Priscilla, I'm sending, this sounds just not even important, but I'm sending thoughts and love and COVID-safe hugs, Priscilla, really. More hot dish. Let's switch gears for a second. I didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, but I'm getting excited because we all get more of one of my favorite shows on Netflix. Late last week, the streaming service announced The Crown will be extended for a 6th season. This broke last week, but I had to mention it. A few months ago, the creator of the show said the 5th season would be its last. Because if you're kind of wondering why this made news, that is why. We were allegedly just going to get the 5th and that was it. Well, Peter Morgan said after working on the storylines for that 5th season, they realized they would need another season to complete the story. Now, the 4th season with Olivia Colman as the Queen is expected to debut later this year. Imelda Staunton will take over the role of the Queen for the final 2 seasons. She played Dolores Umbridge in the Harry Potter movies, which she'll take the monarchy into the 2000s. This is good. I think Netflix looked at the numbers, both in viewing, social media reach of The Crown, and said, you know what? We have something here, and kind of weighed, because The Crown is still the most expensive show to produce on television, if you guys didn't know that. And if you look at it, it's no big surprise. It's so good. If you're still needing something to binge during the quarantine, this is a good time to get started. There's only 3, right? Yeah, 3 seasons to get caught up on. You can buzz through it real quick, and it's so good. If you like Downton Abbey, or as my relatives call it, Downtown Abbey, you'll love The Crown. Brad, have you watched The Crown? No, okay, yeah. Brad, did you know it was Downton Abbey and not Downtown Abbey? Yes. I like your mask, buddy. That's a good-looking mask. That's our audience now. That's Brad. More dish for you next. It was another blast from the past of the weekend box office. What movie? Now, wait a minute. I'm just going to give everyone, let's play a little game here. What older movie do you think was number one at the box office? Everyone, look.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Oh, crap. We forgot to run the spoiler alert animation. Spoiler alert, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. The Empire Strikes Back, the second movie in the original Star Wars trilogy, led the way, bringing in $400,000. This as movie theaters run throwback movies until new movies get released. And this is fantastic. Just think about this for just a second. $400,000 right into the pocketbook of Mickey Mouse. Because think about it. That's almost pure profit. Now let's go to Kendall. I'm going to ask this question, Kendall. And by the way, don't turn your camera off again. But have you seen The Empire Strikes Back?
Yes, I've seen all the Star Wars movies.
Oh, that's right. I always forget that you're a nerd like me. I forget about that. Is Empire your favorite, Kendall?
Mm-hmm. No, only because I do like the newer movies better. I think it's a generational thing. I wasn't alive when the originals all came out, so I watched them and appreciate them and think they're fabulous.
Yeah.
I just like the new ones a little better.
I think this move, though, was so brilliant for these theaters because, look, the minimal amount of people that are going to movie theaters, we're all looking for, even if you're not going into a theater, we are all looking for warm blankets. I call them things to make us comfortable, things that take us back no, seriously, things that take us back to a time when, we weren't wearing NASA suits to go to Walmart. So this is perfect. Right. I saw the theater by my house, St. Anthony, Maine, has the original Batman with Michael Keaton. It has Jurassic Park. It has Empire Strikes Back. And, what a nice, comfortable thing to wrap yourself in on a Saturday afternoon if there's no one sitting by you.
I just keep thinking of the actual terms you're using, though, and I know how you feel about people bringing sleeping bags to the movie theater, so you keep saying movie theater, wrap up in a blanket, get snuggly, and I'm like thinking of you in the theater.
Because now really we don't want your blankets really in movie theaters now because there's all sorts of germs and crusty food. We don't need any of that. So, yeah. Okay, Kendall, here's a warning. The show's not over yet, so don't touch anything, okay? Yes. Hey, guys, still ahead. Stephanie Hansen is back with ideas on upping our summer salad game. But next, he's fresh off a road trip. Oh, I've been waiting 4 months to say this. Producer Ted joins us live to talk about where he went and what he found and if he was arrested. We'll be right back, everyone. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone. Reading some comments here on Twitter. I forgot my computer. I'll get all the kinks out by February. But Jenny writes, this is good. We're talking about old movies in theaters, that Empire and Inside Out from Pixar are playing at the Valley High Drive-In. I need to go to a drive-in. I haven't been one in years, and people have been talking about that. And then unpaid researcher Phil Jones is critiquing our story about Cassie. He said that broke in May. Phil, we haven't been on the air since March, so just FYI. In the last year and a half, producer Ted has been all over the world, and this summer, he was planning to go to Australia. Well, as you can imagine, that didn't happen. But don't worry, he found a more than adequate replacement trip. And that means, once again, it's time for America Loves Ted. And joining us from Kendall's location, A healthy 14 and a half feet away from me is producer Ted. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning.
Now, I see in the script, I just read it, a more than adequate replacement for Australia. What is that location?
I went through towns in Wisconsin that I either haven't been to in a while or have never been to in my life.
Okay, so instead of koalas and kangaroos, towny bars and cheese.
Exactly.
That's
Except
right.
you can't go into the towny bars. So.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, you can.
Yeah.
But you probably shouldn't.
Okay, where did you go, my friend, through this tour of Wisconsin?
Look, we've got friends in Hudson, so I've never been to Hudson before, so I wanted to go there. So this is day one, got an early start, and when you're going on a COVID trip, really all you can do is take pictures of statues.
Seriously, yes.
Yeah. So I found this nice Boy Scout statue.
There's no one around you, right, Ted? That's why you're maskless in that photo.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. Boy Scout camp, the first one in Hudson, or somewhere around Hudson. I read most of the plaque.
Oh, you did that by memory?
Yeah.
So the first Boy Scout camp in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Where did you go next?
Well, we went to Wausau. Wausau was next. I've never been to Wausau before, so this was 4th of July. And this bar, didn't go to the bar. Well, I went in to get this, but they said they had crowlers to go. And I'm like, you can't not see that sign and not go in.
Ted, now I know it's a photo illusion there, but that crowler is larger than your head.
32 ounces of beer.
Oh my, in that one container?
Yep.
And
it's like a contraption, so he puts it under the draft, and then he like puts the lid on and is like.
Did you, and let me guess, you didn't consume that in one sitting, did you? Next story.
Back at my hotel room where it was safe.
Thank you, Ted. We don't want the emails. We're just back. Send us the emails maybe Wednesday. Okay, I can't pronounce this next town, but you went to elementary school there.
Kaukauna.
Okay, actually, that's what I was going to say.
So my parents moved after 5th grade.
Okay.
So my elementary school, which was kindergarten through 5th grade, I hadn't been back in 25 years. So there I am, 25 years later.
Were you a popular kid, Ted, in elementary school?
Yeah, I did okay.
Yep. What do you mean you did okay with the chicks? What do you mean? It's 3rd grade, Ted.
You know, I think I was elected vice president.
Okay. Were you a jock? You're sporty. I mean, you run every day. I mean,
so one of the pictures I didn't include was of Little League because I was terrible.
Oh.
My dad actually asked when I finished the trip, he's like, "Oh, did you show them where you got your hit?" And I was like, "What hit?" And he goes, "The one hit in 3 years of Little League."
Wow, that's a little judgment there in that compliment.
Tough crowd.
Next, Denmark. I didn't even know there was a Denmark, Wisconsin.
Yeah, there is. And Leo just showed it. Put it back up, the factory picture. This is where I worked overnight shift before my senior year in college. The cheese factory.
Is it the white building behind you, Ted?
Yes. It's no longer in business. I had no part in shutting it down. But I still have nightmares from this.
Why, did you work on the line? Did you, you worked on the line? Like
packaging cheese.
You're like Lucy and Ethel.
Yeah. I had a white uniform.
Oh, wow. What kind of cheese? Was there curds or?
Provolone.
Provolone. Oh, the
we gave our provolone cheese went to Subway.
Oh. You know what I heard yesterday? Subway has discontinued the roast beef sandwich.
What?
I went to two. Yes, that's what I was told. If I'm wrong, will you please let me know? How can Subway not have roast beef?
Ridiculous.
Anyway, okay.
Jeff and I go to Arby's anyways.
That's true. Good mood food. Milwaukee, good old Milwaukee you went to.
The Bronze Fonz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Henry Winkler, you got to take this picture. This is it. That's the only reason I went to Milwaukee for this.
Yeah. That's it? Okay, next picture.
That's Milwaukee for you.
Yeah. Well, it's like when people come here and take a picture of Mary Tyler Moore.
Right.
Okay, and then finally, not to be outdone by the Fonz, the top of the M in Platteville.
So Platteville has the world's largest M.
Like the letter.
The letter M on the side of a hill. Yeah, it stands for mining or something. And there, are my twin nieces. They decided they wanted to climb all the way to the top, 250 steps. I wanted nothing to do with it, but they dragged me and my brother up. And
I thought those were your long-lost daughters that you discovered during quarantine.
Harper with the bow in the hair, and Charlie with not the bow in her hair.
Since we last saw Ted, he has a family in New Jersey now. Ted Johnson, everybody, thank you. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're chatting with Stephanie Hansen. She has some tips on taking our summer salad game to the next level. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everyone. Welcome back. Well, when it is hot outside, the last thing you want to do is turn the oven on. That's why I use my air fryer all the time to make a meal. Thank you, Jeff. That's right. Salads, though, are a great option for summer eats. Always has been, always will be. And they can be much more exciting than just plain old iceberg lettuce in a bowl. Joining us live with ways to step up your salad game, your summer salad game, is food blogger and co-host of The Weekly Dish on My Talk 1071, Stephanie Hansen. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning and welcome back to your studio.
Thank you. First of all, look at your hair. I mean, since you look like you're getting ready to yodel or make hot chocolate.
I'm going for like kind of the hippie chick look.
It's fantastic. Is that your treadmill behind you?
Sort of. I'm at my parents.
Oh.
So I'm in their closet with their treadmill.
I was in my parents' closet too for a long time. Let's start with greens. You said use a variety of greens. That seems obvious, but what do you mean specifically to bump up your game?
Yeah, because people will go to the iceberg lettuce or the romaine, which is fine. But have you ever thought about broccoli slaw is a green, right? Also, you can use herbs. So like mint and basil and parsley can be added to those greens to make them have a little bit more flavor, or just different kinds of lettuces. So there's kale now, there's radicchio, there's arugula, which is kind of a bitter green. Just changing up the base of the greens that you use really can change the complexity of the whole salad, because people just make the same salads. They have iceberg and a little carrot shred and a sad tomato. It can be so much better than that.
And Steph, you follow trends with the food world. Are we done with kale? Because remember about 4 years ago, people were putting kale on ice cream. They were everywhere. Have we moved beyond that?
Yeah, I think we have. We're expanding our whole lettuce sphere. So you'll see more like arugula. You're going to see more red leaf lettuces, a little more color in your lettuce profile. And lettuces are great, but depending on the types of dressings, you want a little more substance sometimes.
Yep.
And Jace, have you ever grilled romaine?
No, but executive producer Jeff is going like this.
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
It's so amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, you cut the romaine head, you just cut it the long way and oil both sides and then lay it down flat on your grill. And it gets these beautiful grill marks. It's just really tasty. And you just layer a little bit of dressing on the top. It's a really nice way if you just, again, have kind of boring radicchio or boring
iceberg or something.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about adding texture. Nuts and seeds and fruits add sweetness.
Okay.
I call that texture. Yeah.
Yeah. So I basically think a salad has 5 things. You have your greens, and don't forget herbs as part of the greens. Then nuts or fruit. So nuts could be like sunflower seeds, pecans, walnuts, and you can spice up the nuts too by adding a little maple syrup or a little honey and tossing them with cayenne.
Yeah.
Then you've got your fruits or veg. So like grilled peaches can make a great salad, or just broccoli, something that's cut up into little smaller florets. And then you have your vinaigrette, and that is like a 1 acid to 3 oil. So think of acid can be like lemon juice, red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar. Oils can be olive oil, walnut oil, avocado oil. Like you can get really clever there.
We have a graphic, Steph, we have a graphic to show the folks your base vinaigrette recipe. This is a base, everyone, right, Steph?
Yep. So that's the base. And then you can add all kinds of things to it. You can keep it simple and just add some chopped herbs or shallots. You can make it a little fancier by adding like yogurt and a little bit of mayonnaise and maybe some tarragon to get kind of a ranch type of dressing where you shake it all up. You can add just like jam and some lemon juice and a little bit of soy sauce, and you can make more of like an Asian vinaigrette. By just knowing how to make a simple vinaigrette, you will honestly never have to buy salad dressing again unless you're wanting to, because it's so easy.
Steph has a 5-step salad combo dealio on her website, stephaniesdish.com. So go there for that. But Stephanie's sticking around because after the break, we're going to talk about her recent RV trip across the good US of A. And she wasn't even in a Chevrolet, and cooking along the way. Hanson's hanging around. We'll be back right after this, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Road trips. We are live, by the way, if you just tuned in. This is not a rerun. This is July of 2020. Road trips are popular this summer with people hitting the road for family vacations or just weekend getaways. Stephanie Hanson is back with us. She recently got back from an RV trip and joins us again to break down life on the road with her husband.
Do you remember when I was on, I guess it was months ago, where we talked about our 1971 Dodge Explorer van that my husband tricked out so we could travel across the country?
Yeah, the audience is seeing it right now, isn't it? It's a 72 Dodge Explorer, right, Steph?
Yes. And it was so cute inside. It had a full-size bed. It had a kitchenette. It had 2 seats. The only problem with the van was literally the driving of it.
Yeah.
Because it was a little old and a little clunky, and you can only do so much with old and clunky vans. So we got in the van for our second big road trip, and Jace, right away, the noises and the stuff falling off on the side of the road and the stuff we were like duct taping together to hold it up, it was getting very nerve-wracking. We were losing brake fluid as we were starting to go through the mountains of Utah. We lost a water pump where there's no cellular service, so we're using all the water from our toilet in the van to fill in the radiator. It was crazy.
Where all did the Griswolds go on your RV trip? I mean, and did Imogene Coca come with you? My goodness.
No, it was crazy. We went through Reno, Nevada. We went to Arches. We went to Moab, and we went to Utah. We went to the Canyonlands. We drove all along the Colorado River. And we got to the point where the van was getting so unreliable that we weren't sure we were going to make it home. So we stopped at Fruta, Colorado, and we met a guy named Lee.
Okay.
He was 85 years old, and he was selling a Winnebago Paseo that was a 2017 that had 10,000 miles on it. So we literally drove our Wonder Bread van up to his house. He had just had surgery the day before. His wife had recently passed. He was so sweet when he saw the van, Jace, because he remembered being in a van just like it with his wife.
Oh.
It was, so I go into the new van and I'm looking around, and Kurt makes me do the negotiating. So I get the price down and we get it negotiated. And then I was like, well, do you want the van? Because it's all redone, and all you need to do is work on the engine. And if you know someone, because we can't take 2 vans home. So we ended up trading the Wonder Bread van that we did not want to get rid of because we had such fond feelings, but we honestly knew we weren't going to make it home.
Yeah.
For a newish Winnebago Paseo that has no sex appeal and just is your basic Class B van. But it got us home. It's like driving a fancy minivan. I can even drive it without worrying about stuff falling off. But we continued on our trip, and we went to Aspen, Colorado, which was so beautiful. I've never been there in the summer. It was amazing. And we're total, as Stephanie March, my radio partner, says, we're just boring boomer RVers now.
We're looking at some video now, Hanson. That is beautiful. And what are some of the favorite things that you saw on the road?
I really feel like South Dakota is really undiscovered territory because it's so close to us and you don't think much about South Dakota, but the Badlands are beautiful. I will say camping in Aspen, there are some campgrounds there that are all next to these beautiful streams, and it was just gorgeous. Also Arches and Canyonlands in Utah.
Yeah, we're looking at Utah right now, Hanson. We're looking at Moab, Utah.
Okay. It's crazy. And Jace, I drove a 4-wheel drive Jeep there through the mountains. It was so crazy. My husband was white knuckling it and almost pooped his pants, he said, because we were driving straight up rocks, 4-wheel driving, and I was driving.
Well,
it was so great.
Other than driving and selling your Wonder Van to a delightful old man, you are Stephanie Hansen, so you did cook in your long trailer. That's a Lucille Ball reference. We're looking at some pictures. What did you make, sweetie?
I made coconut curry. Like, we don't just make hot dogs.
Okay.
Sorry, but
Okay.
I made coconut curry. I made ranchero beans with a little steak. I made some of the salads that we talked about with like grilled peaches. We made Italian sausage spaghetti. We really, when we go in the van, we really cook. We made fettuccine Alfredo. We don't just like make any of the regular stuff.
Okay.
Just because that's not really how we eat at home.
Hansen.
We cook.
Hansen, I love you, and so does everyone watching the show. But right now, I'm pretty in tune with the people watching. Everyone's judging you right now because
it's okay.
Because they're thinking to themselves, they're eating wieners and beans out of a Teflon pot that they bought at the Target, and you are making freaking fettuccine Alfredo on the side of the road in Utah.
I am, and people like other campers will sometimes come by. They're like, "What are you making?" Because I've got coconut milk and curry.
No, Hansen,
it's fun.
You're the only human on earth that brings coconut milk on a road trip. I got news for you to cook with.
It's easy. They're in a can. You
I
got
know.
canned goods. You try and amp them up.
For more of this delight, go to stephaniesdish.com and listen to the Weekly Dish Saturdays on My Talk 1071. Love you, sweetie. Thank you it's good to see you. It's
Miss
good to have you
guys.
back.
Yeah. Thanks for having me back, and hope you're having a great summer.
Oh, we are. We're going to take a break, everyone. We'll be back right after this. So good. What are you making? Steak. Welcome back. I got to tell you, again, this is our first show back. It's so good to be here. I was just telling Jeff, doing live TV again, I have missed it. Recording at home has been great, but this is great. And thanks to all of you for supporting us during those months. And don't forget, if you've missed any of the old episodes or now the new ones that we're going to be live every day, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel. You can watch full episodes of the show on our channel. We should probably get one with me with a beard. We post each day's episode along with clips from the show. Just search for The Jason Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And you can see all of them right there. It's a really easy resource if you missed a recipe or a guest and more. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Wrapping things up. Our first day back live here on this, what is it, July? Let me look at the date here. It's July 13th, 2020. Kendall joins me again. Welcome back.
Thank you. We made it.
We made it. We did the first show. And I think you would agree. Here's the deal. You know, we always try to be pretty open with you guys. As you can imagine, we have not welcomed back our studio audience. We will only do it when it's totally safe, so nothing to announce there. But until then, you know, Kendall and I still want to hear from you. We still want a virtual audience. If there is something that you want to go off on, if there is something like, for instance, Unsolved Mysteries, just turn your camera video onto yourself, your phone video, make a little video, post it to our Jason Show Facebook page, and who knows, it could end up here on the show. If you have a question for us, a thought on a hot topic, make a little video, right, Kendall, and post it to our page. We want to hear from you. We want to keep you involved in the show, right? Right, Kendall?
Mm-hmm. We miss you guys. Ask Jason questions, too. That's my favorite when people ask you questions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so we want you guys to be an active part. So just turn that, just do this. Hey, Kendall, what's your lipstick today? Just do that and post it, and we'll make you a part of the show. So, well, it's good to see you again, Kendall, in this format. We hope to welcome you back to the studio sometime very soon when it is totally safe. But for now, bye-bye, Kendall. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Goodbye, Jason.
Don't.
Goodbye.
Now you can touch. Now, Kindle, you can turn your camera off. Go ahead. Tomorrow on the show, Jared from Thrifty Traveler joins us to talk about flying during the pandemic and changes happening at airports and airlines all across the country and world. Plus, a trip to the newest ice cream shop in the Twin Cities. That's tomorrow. Go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. It's good to be back. Thanks for supporting us, guys. We'll see you live tomorrow.